a Geo Metro.
Hey there guys, this is our first video. I'm Joshua.
I'm Caleb.
And we have behind us a MR2. We bought this as a project car and inspected the engine after being told it had a bad head gasket. Inspected and found it was completely shot. The one bearing, rod bearing, was spun. It had completely torn up a cylinder wall and blew up a piston. And it blew up an exhaust valve. Every single cylinder had its own unique issue. So
that's pretty much all that was wrong with the engine. It just completely destroyed the engine.
Yep.
So we completely disassembled the engine, and I looked around for pistons to put in it, and eventually I couldn't really find new OEM ones, not for any cheaper than aftermarket ones. So we got high compression Wiseco pistons and fitted them with Molnar forged, I believe, rods.
Mm-hmm.
So like the pistons are forged.
Pistons are forged.
The rods
are billet steel.
Billet steel, yeah. A really good combination. I don't know what the performance is going to be yet because it's not running yet, but today we're going to be working on getting it running.
Mm-hmm. We have so far gotten it to kind of sputter a little bit, and the problem is we have this crazy airbox going over here, or what would be an airbox, and it seems to be from a different car, and it's making things strange. With it disconnected, it doesn't run at all. With it connected, it revs really high. So, don't really know what to make of that. So, we're gonna fiddle around with some things and see if we can figure all that out.
Yeah!
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're about to show what it does right now. If there's this little flap, kind of a valve thing in here, and when it's all the way closed, it doesn't run at all. Caleb, go ahead and try to start it. So that's all that does. Turn the key off. When it's not running, you can turn the key off because we're leaking gas up over here. And then if you push it in, go ahead and start it. Again. So if I push it in a little bit, then it stays running. If I push it in, then it does that. So, that's what it does so far. Were you pushing the gas?
Yeah, a little bit.
My dude. What was it doing, RPMs wise?
Idle around 1,000. It revs to about 5,500.
Man, we haven't brought this thing in yet. You're gonna bust it.
It's not my fault. You were the one opening the throttle.
No, I wasn't. You pushed the gas and it opened itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what this does so far. Yeah, that's kind of exciting. So we're gonna try to mess with the timing and see if we can fix that. So we'll fiddle around with it even more until we hopefully get it running. So we're gonna try to fix the gas leak temporarily with some spare R134 air conditioning system seals ahead. So right here is where we have to fix the gas leak. It's right where it goes off the fuel rail to the cold start injector, and it's just kind of leaking out the side of there because I put O-rings in there and apparently they're too soft. So we're gonna hopefully be able to keep that from leaking, because we decided that we probably shouldn't be trying to run this engine much with it spraying gas all over everything. You know, safety first and all that, so we're gonna try to stop that. Alright, well, they at least accept being pretty tight.
Alright, and testing the new gaskets for leaks.
Anything?
I don't see anything.
Nice.
I don't know if I should be scared. I don't think so.
I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
Kind of weird putting air conditioning seals on fuel.
They'll probably be there for the decade.
Yeah, the plan is to, we're not going to keep it. We're just going to have it temporary, but...
So you can't use these.
Yeah, that's the problem with those, is that we tighten them down and then they open and pop out or whatever. But if you didn't tighten it down, then there's so much stress on the hose there trying to push it that it would bend it and start leaking anyway. So that's why that didn't work. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and we got gasket on our valve cover and it was starting to soften the paint, so had to blow that off. Because, man, it was a lot of work for me to hand paint those letters there. And then, hopefully the clear coat holds up.
Who knows, might be doing it again.
I sure hope not. So I was trying to find a funnel to put the coolant in, but all the funnels I found looked like this, and I didn't feel like cleaning them. But then Caleb here had the smart idea of using the coolant funnel that we had, but I didn't think of that because I'm not as smart, so thanks. Hey, facts are facts. I didn't think of the coolant funnel, so I must not be as smart.
Let's just fill this thing up with coolant.
Yeah, let's do that. Nice soup. So, we found our first leak. You can see it dripping right there. And we're trying to figure out where it's coming from. We're pretty sure it's not coming straight from the head gasket. Seems like it might be coming from the water pump. But, I mean, I know the water pump is leaking, but it doesn't seem to be leaking this much. That's the main confusing part. He loves that creeper. Alright, so we are back at the MR2 again. Right now, I'm going to try to fix that water pump, which means I have to basically completely replace it. So that's gonna be a bit of a chore. I have to take off all the covers, might need to take off an engine mount, maybe even support the engine. I'm gonna have to do the pulley, the belt, and possibly some water pipes going to it. So that's gonna be fun. But we did order these O-rings direct from the Toyota dealership, so they should fit flawlessly for this. Also got some vacuum lines so we can do more AGR delete, and along those lines, a friend succeeded in making this on a CNC plasma cutting machine he has. So that's pretty cool. It's going to fit perfectly right there and close that little hole, and that way we'll get a sealed EGR system, or EGR delete, and then we won't have to worry about all that crazy stuff anymore. And we're going to get a new bolt for the exhaust manifold, and then, like I said, we're going to use the vacuum lines to bypass some of the things. Already tried to do something here, but we're going to try to get this intake sealed up. We figured out what's wrong with this. Apparently we had too many holes in the intake, and so it wasn't actually making the suction it needed to open this by itself. So after closing that with some rags, just temporarily to see if that made a difference, it did make a difference. So it doesn't work yet, but it can run at lower RPMs now, and does open that easier. So after that's all sealed up, we should be able to have this working as it should again. So I have now removed this water pump, and right here is where, yes indeed, I had forgotten to put on this seal. And where that is not so easy to see, but it is right there. And there was absolutely nothing there to seal it. So, that explains why it was so, so leaky there. 'Cause, man, it was just pouring out of there. So, I will put on the new seal, get this thing back together. I think that was about an hour of work to get that off. So, yeah. Now I will continue the process and reinstall it. Alright, so I got it back together. That was a good 3.5 hours wasted. I say wasted because I could have avoided that if I had not been so dumb and not put a gasket there. Oh well, what's done is done. Now, only thing left to do is see if it holds water, and then move on to vacuum lines and stuff like that. Caleb isn't here right now. He'll be here later. But that's where this is at. Alright, so Caleb is here now, and got some coolant and finished up on fixing the water pump. So we're gonna let it suck up some coolant. He's gonna start it, and we'll see if it starts leaking again.
Fixing the water pump went really smoothly without accidentally unplugging any wires.
Yeah. We can say that. Dude, this is a sports car. It's not a truck.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Alright, so we put water in it and it stopped surging. And for reference, I also did a lot of vacuum stuff before this. That's why it's idling now when it wasn't before. The main thing was that we had too many holes in the intake manifold, so it wasn't making a proper suction for the airflow sensor. So that seems to be working pretty well now. Alright, it's running and not running very well at all, but we're going to go ahead and try taking it for a quick drive. Caleb, what do you think about this?
I'm just seeing what happens. Part of the diagnosis, see how bad it is. It could be really bad, it could be mediocre. I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't have much of a seat over here.
Okay. I would expect. Yes. I'm not happy with me accelerating at all.
Is that floored?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not floored at all, but so I'm trying to figure out how to get the seat up. Trying to figure out how to get the seat up. Some of the lights keep turning on. Might be a bad connection.
So we just got back from the first drive and found a coolant leak that seems to be some disconnected hose or something of that sort, but we're not sure because it stopped leaking when it turned off, and timing is an issue or something along those lines because it's very weak. So it was really not a very exciting drive. Had all of the lights on the dash coming on, like check engine, check oil, and all that fun stuff. So hopefully it goes better than this first drive did. So we've still got more research going.
Okay, so basically, to make a long story short, the drive did not go well. We found out after it that we lost our harmonic balancer. Took 3 days to find that in the ditch. Um, at least it was only about a quarter mile away, but still. Um, that's pretty much how that went. And the reason was I couldn't find the bolt to put on it before, and then I forgot that I hadn't put the bolt on it. So when we drove it, I wasn't thinking about the fact that there wasn't a bolt to hold the harmonic balancer on. Here's the bolt that we found, and I thought for sure it was the wrong one. So, because it doesn't actually thread in. So Caleb went ahead and ordered another one. How's that for comparison? So yeah, pretty much it was a waste of time. It's the exact same bolt, and yeah, the threading is identical. So apparently it was just a really tight fit. Maybe the threading on the crankshaft got tweaked a little bit in the removal of the crankshaft or somewhere in the machining process or something. Don't really know. But I'm just going to go ahead and try to put this in with an impact wrench. Don't really know if that's a good idea, but I mean, don't really have any better ideas, and I'm pretty certain it's the bolt that came out. So if I'm not mistaken, it'll be difficult to put in at first, and then go in easier once it gets past the whatever part is damaged. So we're about to find out. And then Caleb will be coming over later, and we will go ahead and see if we can take this thing for a drive. Alright, so I threaded it in as much as it'll go by hand, which is not much. And I'm just going to go ahead and try pounding it in with this impact wrench.
Okay, that was scary and stressful a whole bit of the way, but the bolt went in, and finally, I mean, it tightened down fine, so I really don't know what to say to that, but it is in, and it is tight, so I'm pretty certain it's not going to be coming out and letting that harmonic balancer come off. Alright, and we are finally ready to take it on an actual drive. You think this is going to succeed?
No, not at all.
That's our deep feelings.
One can always hope.
Yep. I feel on the outset that it will run well, but it also seems likely that it won't. It's got nothing on the roof. Kind of needs something up there. Something. Fire's right up. You can actually start the first gear pretty easily without even touching the gas. The first gear is geared very low. Got fifth gear. Doing 50.
To try to monitor all of the vital signs.
Yeah.
That's what I missed last time, is totally forgot to check the temperature.
Okay, so we made it to the paved roads off our dirt roads in the sticks, which is about 4 miles, and temperature is still perfect.
Oil pressure is still really high.
I don't think the oil pressure is accurate,
Yeah.
so we're gonna pull off over here and check our
Vitals.
Yeah, our
Check all the
vitals.
vitals.
Yep. And see how we're doing.
What is it?
Exhaust is coming out of there. So, prop stick.
Does it have metal shards in it?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of expected probably from the hone. It looks like the same level it was when I filled it. And it looks like clean oil.
Cool.
It doesn't really look sparkly.
Okay. Well, we'll know for sure when we change it, but like you said, it would be weird if it was not a tiny bit sparkly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how much a hone wears out, so...
Yeah.
The water's doing very well, though. It's, like, spot on.
That's surprising
The
that
oil looks the same.
a hose clamp can make that much difference.
I mean, it was, like, so loose I could just grab it and pull it off, so...
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I think?
What do you think?
Let's go get a burger or something.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Oh yeah.
Okay, we've not got this nice hill coming up. We're just going to keep it in fifth and see how the speed does. That's a pretty steep hill.
And you know what? It didn't bog it down at all. That was good.
It's nice coming from Geo Metro drivers. Yeah, I am one of those Geo Metro drivers.
Yeah.
if you can really see, but we got something burning somewhere.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure it out.
Maybe we won't. Oh, that's what it is. Oil. Putting oil on the exhaust.
What is that? What's leaking?
That one thing.
Is it oil or water?
Should be oil.
Yeah. That copper seal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, figure it's probably an oil flush, right? Automatic.
It's not dangerous, so.
Yeah. Right, we're going to Arby's as our first stop. This is kind of tradition on our previous couple of rebuilds.
Go ahead.
Can we get the roast turkey and Swiss meal?
Okay. What else can I get for you?
Corned beef Reuben meal with the same medium lemonade.
Did you want curly fries on these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's yeah, curly fries on both.
Alrighty. What else can I get for you?
That's it.
Your total's gonna be $24.56 at the window.
Thank you.
So we're finding out this car is a bit low.
Good thing it's not a Wendy's. Wendy's has their window extra high.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't got no cup holders in this car.
Table.
That's got shift links, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a table. Now we can go drift.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Mission accomplished. All right. This car's first fuel up in our possession. 91. All right. We got our sandwiches at Arby's. So that's pretty exciting.
We're Arby's fans.
Yeah. That was worth the trip.
Oh yeah. It totally wasn't just to drive the MR2.
Not at all. I mean, that's cool like enough, I guess, but we really don't care about MR2s at all.
Where'd the glass cleaner go?
All right. Well, it has been a fun day, and we're finally on our way back home. And how did it drive?
It seems to be driving pretty well. Last time I drove it, the harmonic balancer fell off, so it feels a lot better this time than that time. The car just really needs the cooling system and stuff like that for some reason. It's when you accelerate in first, it's really difficult to do it with like no smile on your face because the car is just fun. It's not super fast, but it's small, it's pretty nimble, slightly quirky, I would say, with the shifter and the engine being in the back. But it doesn't have any cup holders, doesn't have hardly any amenities in the cabin. But it's so much fun to drive, and I think the rebuild is complete on the engine.
Seems so. Valve job seems to be working well.
So, we still have to do a few things on it. Got the engine back together, all the bolts back in, I think. Engine mounts. We still have to, let's see, cosmetics aside, what do we have to do? Oh, we got our crush washers for the oil, so we can stop leaking oil onto the exhaust.
I think that's the main problem right now. It's just that.
So we're going to try to take it easy, burn in the hone a little bit on the cylinders, go for a drive, do some cosmetics, replace the windshield.
So for videos. We're probably going to be doing, or if not definitely doing more with this car, since it seems like it's going to be pretty fun. We're going to be having some future video, assuming it keeps running, on you know, just having fun. But we haven't gotten to that yet because we still have to break in the hone, obviously. So, freshly rebuilt engine, don't want it to blow up right now. Gonna do an oil change and whatnot. But,
Yeah, as long as this engine keeps running as well it is, you can definitely expect more videos on it to come.
yep, and they're gonna be probably, hopefully, more exciting than this one. I'm really looking forward to that. So,
I'm just glad it's running now.
yep. Alright, well, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.